What's up? It's Chipper from Ready Check Pull, and I'm here with Zach Zachi. What's going on, bro?
Yo, what's up? Happy New Year, dude.
Happy
As
New
we've
Year
already
to
said.
you too.
Yeah, it's January 1st. Yeah, this is what a great way to start off the year, dude. Doing a podcast.
This is
That's
like
I
I
like
would rather listen. I would rather be nowhere else than right here, right now.
True, actually. Dude, couldn't be happier right now to be out of 2020, dude. 2020.
Fucking so long,
See
farewell.
you later. Might remember 2020 for the rest of my life, for good and bad. But oh my god, dude. Can we just 2021 just be a little more chill, man?
Yeah. This is instead of the roaring 20s, it's the whoring 20s. You know what I'm saying? Wait.
I can only hope.
Yeah. But like, listen. For us, starting a new podcast and all that stuff, starting a new YouTube channel, starting the getting the guides up, new raid launched. Like 2020 was a shit show, but like, you know, it has its moments, right? It definitely has its downs, but it has its ups. You know what I'm saying?
That's pretty true, especially for, gamers like us, dude. There was a lot of stay inside. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that going on.
Everyone else is pissed. They're like, oh, you got like social anxiety? Well, wear a mask when you go into a place. Oh wow, that's great. Like fucking, you can't go to a bar anymore. Wait, okay, you can't go to clubs. The only thing I'm actually pissed about, like legit, is like can't go to like the movies, right? Like that's like the only, like going to the movies was like my jam. So like that kind of sucks.
And don't drive 5 hours to visit your extended family this year. Don't do it. Oh, man.
Yeah. The holidays are gonna really suck. You're gonna have to stay home and be with the people you actually spend your life with. Wait.
Yeah. Stay home and play games.
This fucking 2020 is a meme, dude. 2020 is a meme, and I'm so glad to have lived through it, and I'm so glad to have to not be a part of it anymore. So,
dude, this is one of the first times that like every at the end of every year or whatever, you see videos that are like, okay, recaps. This is what happened in 2020. This is the first time that like I don't want to watch the recap, man.
No.
I don't even want to watch it. Just I forget it. I don't want to remember.
Bro, I just watched is either Jubilee or Cut, one of those two YouTube channels made like what 2019, like people guessed what 2020 would be, and like it was so fucking off, dude. It is so off, like, because it was like at the end of 2019 they're all like, oh well, Trump's gonna get another presidency, and we're probably gonna have some global warming stuff happen, and what it's like, you have no fucking idea. You literally have no idea what's coming. You couldn't have guessed. There's no fucking chance. And it was just funny watching. It's like 100 people guessing what 2020 would be like. It's dope.
Yeah, that's pretty good. But yeah, so we didn't have a podcast last week because Christmas happened.
Merry Christmas, by the way, to everyone, every RCP.
Yeah. Since we missed you, maybe saw it in the Discord if you're in there. But yeah, we were been a couple weeks, dude. A lot has happened. Specifically around the World First race. We missed. We missed the we could have had a podcast 2 days after it finished, but whoopsies.
Yeah,
that's Blizzard's
big
fault,
mistake.
They killed it on the 23rd, man. Like, what are we supposed to do? Speaking of which, dude, the 23rd. Have I ever been more right about a prediction, bro? Like,
yeah, you said they're gonna make sure that it dies. I don't know what which voodoo you were like inhaling at that time, but like you were like, yeah, they're gonna make sure it dies, and then but like you were like, yeah, but it's not gonna be like easy. They're not gonna make it so everyone gets it. Like you're just like, it's gonna die then, and then whatever, and then we're gonna move on. However, it's just so Blizzard can have their fucking Christmas. That's exactly what happened. It died, and no one else killed it other than like 2 guilds. Nobody. So it's like insanely hard. I think they might have gave Limit and Echo a little bit of a, hey, try this out, guys. Let's reduce the boss's health by a few percentile.
Yeah, but dude, I don't think I've ever predicted something so accurately, dude. You know, it's a
I
little
don't
bit
think you've
RNG.
ever been accurate on any prediction.
Okay, come on, dude.
Hey, listen, we can go back to that old year prediction on BOD. You know what I'm saying?
No. Look,
JK. But no, legit, like you nailed it, dude. You nailed it.
It was gonna die in December or January, dude. So I mean, I was right.
You were 100% right. You said it's either gonna die sometime after December or sometime before February, and you were 100% right.
But dude, what a race, bro! Like, let's go. Oh, by the way, Limit 1. If you guys didn't hear, it's pretty lit. Let's go America. But man, that 16-hour advantage really comes in handy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So they killed it by how many hours?
Oh, I don't even know.
Well, it was a 16-hour difference.
Oh, I don't even know.
I'm pretty sure it was like right around. At least that's what I was told. Who the fuck knows? I could get wrong information all the time. I didn't fact check, but I was told that it was like between 15 and 16-hour difference. So that's why people are like, did they really get world first? Did they not? Who knows? I'm in the camp of, if it ain't a fucking fair race from the start, I don't care what psychology you're trying to push on. Well, they didn't have to wipe as much on the other bosses and they get to copy the other person's strats and whatever. It doesn't matter. If it's not fair for whatever reason up and down, then it can't be considered an actual race until they both get it at the same time. They both have to go through the same shit, and then we see who comes out on top.
Yep. This is all just like some gentleman's agreement type thing. It's just kind of a mess.
Because let's be real, dude. So many factors. Aren't there there's Asian servers that get it 3 weeks later, dude? You know, like they don't get to partake until the whole race is over, apparently.
Yeah. Dude, they get so forgotten about. I was looking at the seeing who, where people are at, where the guilds are at, who's killed Stone Legion generals. I'm looking at all actually, it just looked right now, and 2 Asian guilds or Chinese guilds, I don't know what this says, but they killed the Nathrias today or yesterday, just now. What the heck?
What?
Dude,
breaking news, brother.
Yeah, well, it's kind of weird.
So it's Skyline, and I'm not even gonna try.
I was hoping you'd try. Yeah, I don't know what that says, but dude, they killed the net. Oh, what?
That's crazy. Wild.
And then another guild killed Stone Legion general. Man, this is crazy. Anyway, yeah, it's kind of a shame that there's a whether it's real or not that Europe is at a disadvantage of 16 hours, or it's really less, and blah blah blah. But definitely, if it's even a question that Europe's at a disadvantage, then Asia is definitely at a disadvantage, bro. 2 days behind, come on, it's not even. If they ever won, that would be a disgrace to America, basically.
Yeah, that's a bit ridiculous, dude. Look at the time though. What is going on with the number 6 guild? It's all their bosses were killed 4 hours ago.
Oh, I think it's there's a bug going on with the website.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, it is what it is. Yeah, it's not how it works, but yeah, I don't know. It's been crazy. So I got some statistics for you for how the race went a little bit. So
did you say statistic?
Yeah. So Limit killed it first, right? And that's cool. Stone Legion Generals was the hardest boss, or took the most pulls. So we say that's the hardest boss. For literally everybody. Turns out we had people like to compare this tier to Emerald Nightmare, which is that's kind of harsh maybe, but it's where the second to last boss is actually more difficult than the last boss, significantly. So pretty much every guild, Stone Legion generals took 300 to 400 pulls.
Unless your method, then it took 400 to 500.
Yeah, dude. Stone Legion Generals, that fight is insane, apparently. And like I watched a lot of the progression on it and like listened to the Raiders talk about like why it was so hard and stuff like that. And oh my god, dude. It's like a 12-minute fight, like you're stretching out to the berserk timer at the end. Oh my god, it took 400 pulls, like Jesus. And then pretty much every guild so far that has killed Stone Legion generals in 400 pulls goes on to kill Denathrius in like a little over 100 pulls.
Yeah.
Like it's just a regular hard boss. So it makes it seem really easy when in reality, like over 100 pulls for a world first guild is still a lot. So
Yeah.
it's like such a weird situation that
So like
Stone Legion
the big
generals
bads in
stretched it
the
out.
big bads in history are like Falling Avatar and Kill Jaden and shit like that, and those are like 600 pull bosses, right? So those are like the worst of the worst in like the last two expansions, and like this is like
600? Yeah, Jesus, I don't even remember
yeah,
that. Good
I
lord.
think Fallen Avatar, but then that Fallen Avatar had like that you could fall through the floor shit and learn the second. I don't know what the fuck. Anyways, but like yeah, it was like something around 600 I thought, and then the this one Stone Legion's being 414 is like, bro, that's a fucking fight
That's
where it's
crazy.
like it's hard the whole time until like the end, I guess is what they say.
Yeah, and the last phase is actually the easiest part. Yeah, super super weird fight apparently, and it was like for limit, especially it was bugged to death. Like literally every ability was bugged. Everything about it was bugged. So they had the worst time doing it. But yeah, I don't know. I thought that was interesting that like it's like Big Dumb Guild or Big Dumb Golden Guardians, I guess they're called now. I was like watching them live, and you got to see their 400th pull on the boss, and then they killed it shortly after that. But just that number just sounds the nerd screams when they killed it. I don't think I've ever heard more more crazy nerd screams, and it's
So
for a
it is
second to last
very all
long.
right. So the crazy nerd screams on BDGG's kill of Stone Legion generals is very reminiscent of a group of people being locked with no food for 2 weeks in a container, and then someone comes and opens the container. That's like the sound. It was not like an excitement, happy, yay, we did it. It was like a fucking thank God we're done. That is what the sound. It was so like awkward and weird, and I felt uncomfortable and super happy for him that they killed it. But it was
Yeah.
fucking a weird scream. Oof.
Yeah, they were. It was definitely, I mean, this kind of happens a lot with like difficult bosses that take a lot of pulls, where it's almost like a relief. Like that's definitely how I felt like killing, what Mythic Ashara or whatever. Like I just hated that fight. So when we killed it, it was like I wasn't even like happy. I was relieved, right? This was that on, oh my god, like the craziest level. Like
Yeah,
literally nobody wanted to be doing that fight ever again. And now they get to go move on to the Nathrius, dude. So
that's
I don't
awesome.
know. Yeah, but yeah, so we're looking at a long tier unless there's some nerfs coming along the way. Like my guild just got to Mythic Sludge Fist, and that fight's gonna take a while, I think, because it's kind of like a crazy throughput check. But dude, I don't want to seeing those nerd screams from Stone Legion generals, dude. I don't want to start progressing on Stone Legion, man. I don't want
Yeah.
to be in that boat. I don't want to like. I don't want to have those nerd screams. So I'm hoping for some nerfs to be honest, because that's kind of scary. That's like not I don't
And
know
it's
if
like
I want to be a part of
consistently
that.
400 pulls, dude. It's like it's really fucking wild. Like every guild that like gets there and kills it or whatever, it's like 400 pulls. So you know you're in for a
Yep.
rough progression right there.
Yeah, the guilds that kill it fast are at like 300. It's like, oh yeah, that's
Oof.
way faster. Cool. But yeah, another super interesting thing that I found with the race results is it was sort of expected. The guild Fat Shark, yes, I'm sure a lot of people have heard of. They got world fourth, rating less than half of any of the other guilds. Because like the top three guilds all did like day raids every day. If they're not playing the game, that's because they're sleeping. They're
Yeah.
doing 16 hours a day or whatever, 14, literally every day. So it makes sense that they would get 1, 2, and 3. But then Fat Shark, yes, still raids a crazy amount, but it's 5 hours every day as opposed to 16 or 14, right? So it's less than half, almost less than a third. And they got 4th in the world, dude. Fat Shark Yes is insane. And
114 polls on Nathria's.
yeah, that's crazy. And like you hear like top raters say that like Fat Shark Yes is really good and whatever, and you're like, okay, cool, yeah. So they'll, but they only rate this much. So they're gonna get world, 10th or whatever. They got 4th, bro. Like what? Like beating what Method, Exorcist, Big Dumb Golden Guardians, the day rating like Chinese guilds. They're insane, dude. I don't know what to
Yeah,
say.
that's
I don't know.
actually
That
really
just like
crazy.
that just boggled my mind that they rate. I mean, what is that? I mean, that's still a lot of hours, 5 hours every day. Like, let's be honest, but dang,
And
these
what's
guys are
you know
efficient.
what we know what we don't give enough credit to be honest, is like the fact that like the class diversity isn't crazy, but it's better than almost every end boss ever, right? It's not like they're stacking 7 mages, fire mages, or like 13 of one spec. It's like you got. It looks like I'm looking at Pieces roster right now, and they have Demon Hunter and Brewmaster. Demon Hunter tanking, like that is insane, right? That is absolutely insane. But then Resto Shaman is seeing play, Unholy DK seeing a bunch of play. They're the best in the goddamn raid right now. Holy shit. But then you got Marks Hunters, you got Fire Mages, you got Unholy, you got Boomkins, an Arms Warrior in there for the buff. Like, like there's a little bit more diversity than you're used to seeing, like 8 Warlocks and then anything else, right?
Yeah.
So like it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Then like the most stacked DPS class, like you said, that we've seen in the raid is Unholy DK, which I don't remember the last time Unholy DK was good. I literally can't. Unholy DK is never this good. So it getting stacked is like, that's awesome. Glad to see something new. And Windwalker being coming in clutch, dude.
Don't get him started, dude.
Oh my god, dude. Windwalker being referred to as the best spec in the raid. It's like, what's going on here?
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, so like, I mean, like the balancing of this tier got like heavily memed on, especially by me. Because the classes that are bad are really, really bad. But I mean, for what it's worth, like there is a mixture. You know what I'm saying? Like there are boomkins and hunters and mages and warlocks and warriors. They're all here. I don't know.
Yeah, what's up with the Demon Hunter though? I thought, weren't they like going through all the bosses with like warrior and shit? What's up with Demon Hunter Brewmaster?
Who you talking
I don't get that. I'm just talking about the tanks. Like Demon Hunter is like, it's insane. Well, so it's like even like Limit has, every single one of them has a Demon Hunter, but Limit's the only one that has a warrior, and then the next 4 have Brewmaster. So it's like you're used to seeing Brewmaster and you're used to seeing DK, but it's like maybe they don't need the DK at all because you got 4 Unholies, and then since you do that, you don't want to take a Demon Hunter DPS because they are garbage. So you just take the Demon Hunter tank because they're actually really good right now. So it's just a weird. I'm just not used to seeing it. All of BFA was like kind of flopped, right?
Yep, it's very, very weird meta. Well, kind of ironically, but very, very weird tank meta going on. Because literally at like before the raid came out, when people were doing testing and like making tier lists and all that stuff, all the best tanks in the world, literally all of them were saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna be playing Brewmaster's the best, and then Blood DK's the best. Those are going to be the best tanks for the last 2 bosses." I was like, oh, okay. Like, if they're literally all of them are saying that, it's like, okay, well then, case closed. And then you get, and they're like, oh, and then Warrior and Demon Hunter are the worst possible tanks for the raid. You would never play those.
Not to the extent where Max says Warrior is the worst class he's ever played ever. Prot Warrior is the worst tank ever in the game, and they bring it to every single boss. What a fucking troll. Ugh.
So, but it, like, when you hear their line of reasoning, like when Lighty played Prot Warrior, you know what I mean? Like he's the tank god, Well, okay, that's a little far, but like his reasoning for like why they play it is super. I mean, everything makes sense, dude. Like it was looking like Havoc Demon Hunter it was one of the worst specs in the game, and both warrior specs, DPS specs, were the worst in the game. And when you're going for world first, dude, you can't be bringing bad damn. Like you
It's true,
can
yeah.
sort of make, apparently somehow they have crazy players, obviously. They can make up for like a tank being a little squishy or whatever. They got their externals and their plans and their schemes, you know what I'm saying? And Lighty's insane, obviously. So they can play like a squishier tank and get away with it if it brings more utility or it brings the buff or they get more damage as a result. But just they like the factors that went into them choosing Demon Hunter and Warrior just like blew my mind, dude. Like it makes
Yeah.
sense that it like totally flipped the
We
script.
need
And they're
Battle
saying-
Shout, and we're not taking Arms Warrior. And we need
Yeah,
that
yeah.
magic debuff, and we're definitely not taking Havoc.
Yeah,
It's
and
like,
even
oh,
though
no.
weirdly enough, they did bring an Arms Warrior to like everything, which is like that's another thing that's weird because they're thinking it was going to be really bad, and then it ended up being actually okay, especially for execute damage, which matters a lot. So it's like, so you have a Prot Warrior and an Arms Warrior in there. It's like, how did we get here, man?
Yeah,
So
it is pretty wild.
super interesting. And they're saying Brewmaster is the like one of the squishiest tanks in the raid, which is when's the last time that's been true, dude?
Yeah,
Never
that's
true.
crazy. Never.
And I feel like that's blowing everybody's mind too. Like I feel like people just don't know that. They just don't they haven't internalized that, you know what I'm saying? Like
Well, I have.
Brewmaster
Trust me,
is
I've learned it the hard way. JK. But one thing I am like with the raid roster, one thing I do like is I really, for some reason, I don't know what it is, but I actually enjoy the raids when Resto Shamans are part of the meta. Like
Yeah.
for some reason I like the utility that they bring with SLT. And I like the way that they, the grouped up healing. I like the Ankh little totem uses that sometimes you can get a little funky with that. I like that they have their own Ankh. Like I like all that shit. Like I really enjoy when it's not Holy Paladin Disc Priest, because like when you're in a guild that isn't, US fucking 10th or whatever, like when you're in a guild that's struggling, cutting edge guild, like playing Disc Priest and like some of these harder specs to play, like it's just a fucking trap, dude. Like your guild would do so much better if you played a more straightforward healer, but they all go disc and it's a goddamn trap. And then you fucking, so it's nice that there's some non-trappy healers that are like making the cut right now, and I like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I wanted to mention, dude. Remember well, I was gonna say another interesting thing about the roster here that people might not notice, I guess. There's a lot of melee.
Oh
There's a
yeah.
lot of melee, dude. Like relatively, like, bro.
Well, I think that's inflated because of the unholy DK being broken.
But it is what it is, dude. I'm looking at limit. You got 4 unholy DKs. That's insane, obviously. But hey, that's 4 melee. Doesn't matter how you slice it. You know what I'm saying? And then they got 2 more melee on top of that. They had 6 melee in for the last boss. The only weird boss is Sludge Fist, which is kind of unfortunate because you can only really have, it's like a weird, it's a super weird fight. So that fight's definitely you don't want melee for. But seeing even on Stone Legion Generals, they had 3 DKs, a Windwalker, an Arms Warrior, and then like melee healers if you want to count that. But like people were saying, I don't know whomst, but people were saying that
I don't know whomst.
they're saying that this raid is going to be super melee unfriendly. One of the most unfriendly raids they've seen. And then they run 4 unholy DKs, 6 melee, 2 holy paladin melee healers. Like, shut up. Like, I mean, I get Sludge Fist, yeah, whatever. And like I don't know. It's always gonna come down to tuning, man.
Do you do damn or do you not do damn? You're in if you do, you're out if you don't.
Yeah.
It's like that's it.
It's not too bad. And like maybe like there are, how do I say that? Maybe there are more bad melee specs than there are range specs. Because it's like you can play Hunter, you can play Mage, you can play Shadow Priest mostly, you can play Warlock, you can play Boomkin. If I didn't already say that, like you got a lot of options as range, but as melee, it's like at least for these guys, it was like Unholy DK, Windwalker. That's it. Don't
Yeah.
play anything else. So I guess in that way, it does kind of make sense.
Bro, it looks like
But
when it comes to like DPS being crazy, it's like Warlock is like shooting up, dude. Like for some reason, I thought Affliction was like just not hitting the mark, and it looks like if you go under ranks, they're fucking crushing the top ranks. So maybe it's just the top end that are able to make it work, but the ranks don't match the statistics. When I was looking at them before, but now it's like fucking Affliction, Windwalker, Unholy. Those are the ones you want to be, dude. Balance Druid, maybe. So
yeah, look
yeah,
at that. That's cool.
doing real well.
Luckily enough for me, dude, Fire Mage is actually not doing too bad. Let's go.
Yeah, lucky enough for me too.
Let's go, dude. So that's cool because I thought I was gonna be sitting on the bench this tier. So, because it was not looking good for the old mage.
Yeah,
life,
you picked Windwalker and Mage, and then Frost goes to the fucking bottom, and you're like, "Fuck, what do I do?" And then you're like, "Oh, but in Windwalker, that's my second choice. There's nothing I can do." And then Windwalker's up top, Fire Mage is up top. You got choices,
dude. I was getting memed for my Windwalker alt choice, dude. What do you know? It's ridiculously good. Dude, I could have been a Windwalker main. Oh, I can't get over that, man. I could have been a Windwalker main this tier.
Listen, you could have done it.
Could have gone back to the classic, dude. I'd have been loving life. I wouldn't have been in the raid for Sludge Fist. I'm actually now that I think about it, I'm in for more progression bosses as a mage than I would have been as a Windwalker. That's crazy, actually.
I mean, there's still time, brother. There's still time.
Okay, yeah, you're not wrong. But let's see. Oh, another thing that I thought was interesting about the World First race as a whole, some like limit came out and said that they ended up spending like 330 million gold on BOEs and whatnot, like consumables, I guess. I don't know what all is included in that. 330 million gold they spent on the World First race as a whole. Oh, what is that? Like, I think people did conversions for based on like WoW tokens for how much
like $40,000 to $50,000.
Yeah, it's like fucking 45 grand. Jesus, dude, 331 million. Like, I can't even like fathom that, and that sounds ridiculous. And what's weird is I didn't think this would be possible, but they actually spent more gold on this tier than they did in Nyalotha when there was like BOE corruption stuff going on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it kind of the only reason why it kind of makes sense is because of the fact that it's like the start of the expansion and you get the world BOEs and shit like that are all fucking viable.
Yeah.
Anyways,
like, loot is ridiculously hard to come by, so like you're probably you need BO, like literally every slot that is a BOE probably needs to be a BOE. And like
super
BOEs
fun
are probably
fact
harder to come by. I don't know.
Super cute and fun fact is someone from our guild actually got a BOE, sold it to them for a cool 2 million. It's pretty nice. Yep. Damn. Savaria. Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah, pretty big money. They instantly messenger. How the fuck they knew? Who knows? But she got that shit, and it was like, hey, so you're gonna keep that or
maybe because they'll pay whatever. They don't care at all about gold because they made 330 million, dude. They make that back in like a couple months, and they're back to normal. That's just insane to think about that number. But yeah, dude. But I'm sure other guilds, like the other, like I'm sure Echo and Pieces and whoever, I'm sure they spent a pretty similar amount of money, which we're talking about a billion gold plus just like floating around, flying.
Rumor has it that Pieces was buying all of the BOEs before before Echo could get to them, and there started a little drum, but again, that's hearsay. You know how the grapevine works. Yeah.
And I guess it's good that there's like twice as many European players. If there's 2 guilds over there, or I mean 3 really, but there's probably plenty of BOEs to go around over there.
There's probably a lot.
think they're good to go.
All right, so hey,
what else?
I wanted to talk to you about, so, we're still on that world first bullshit about this Noggy Mythic Dungeon Tools, Method Dungeon Tools drama that it was like, that like came out. The dude was like pissed off that people wanted, rightfully so. I feel the internet can be a savage place sometimes. I know. Are we pulling or are we dancing? So like the internet can be a savage place sometimes. But I think now it is reverted and it's completely going back to being free, and he's just asking people for help and donations and stuff like that. People go through shit. I'm one of those people who are like, yeah, he's clearly like just upset, clearly had some shit going on in and out of fucking game that, was just on edge. And then people just like piling on the, update your shit. I'm more important than you. Like, who cares about your world first race and all that bullshit? So he kind of had a little bit of a like, fuck the internet moment.
Yeah.
All good. All's forgiven, dude. Don't let it happen again or I'll have to cut you off for good, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, the thing is, when you say fuck the internet fucks you back.
Yeah, real bad.
They don't forgive or forget ever. So
yeah.
Unless you're literally the only option, like that was unfortunate, dude. Because yeah, it's kind of like that's like a sad situation, dude. Because like you feel for him, right? Like he just lost. He's probably just pissed about losing world first, dedicating his life to, and then losing, and then apparently has a history with mental stuff. So it's like, oh shit, like he's definitely not dealing with this well. And then he lashes out like crazy. Now everybody's lashing out again at him. It's like, oh god, he just put himself in the worst.
And he tried to do the double down. I respect the double down, dude. Listen, if I'm gonna lash out and then people lash at me, dude, the first thing I'm gonna do is double down because I'm a double downer. That's what I do, right? Like you gotta. If you're going to make a decision, you stick with that decision. The problem is he almost lost his add-on because that's how the add-ons work is you could take over someone's add-on because that's not your code, right? So it's like, because you're making it for the game and whatever, you can't copyright it for whatever licensing bullshit happens. I don't really know how it works. Just getting the meat and potatoes from other people, but he almost lost his add-on. He almost lost like he lost a lot of respect from people from doing that. Totally cool. Everyone forgives you. You heard it first. No one's upset anymore. Just make a great add-on. That's it.
That's not true. Sure, dude. Yep.
Everybody forgives you on my behalf. Let me tell you that I know the internet. I'm on it and I know the internet. Everybody forgives you.
Yep, it's totally in the past now. Don't look at the Man Baby Dungeon Tools add-on.
Nope, that doesn't count anymore.
Nobody uses it.
It was funny though. It was funny.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude. But yeah, that was some dramatic stuff, dude. I mean, I remember like feeling pretty strongly about that when he was saying like, he's taking it, making his data private or whatever the actual thing he did. I was like feeling strongly about it, and then I like saw the clips of him like freaking out, like raging. I was like, oh, okay, no, I get it. I see what's going on here. This is an unfortunate bystander. This data being held hostage is like, oh
yeah.
He's just mad.
Data is held hostage. That's fun. He just went through some shit. It's cool though.
The community came in swift, bro. They were like, yeah, we don't actually need that anyway, so we're gonna use this. Well, dude,
thanks for the great idea, bro. We'll take it from here.
Dude, the internet community does not care. They're like, oh yeah, we'll just use an old version that you made. Oh no, we already have all the data. Yeah, we're just gonna use that. We're gonna make a new one. Dude, the internet is ruthless, man.
Listen, they giveth and they taketh away, my dude.
Yeah, they can be pissed at you creating a problem and then also instantly solve it and everything's back to normal and still be pissed that you created the problem in the first place.
What's fucked up is he created the solution and then he just took away the solution, which created a problem for people that now know they need that solution. So they were like, well, we'll take it from here, dude.
Yeah, definitely one of the most classic shoot yourself in the foot situation. Because oh my god, like everybody loved that dude for making this shit, and then I don't know.
But he does do fucking like, listen, like we have to talk about this shit for a second. Like there's like a bunch of people who make weak auras, like Cossi and Relo. and a million other names, right? Like Jim Fro and shit like that. Like, and then there's like people who make people who make add-ons, like Nagi, like does a lot of like cool add-on stuff. Just Wait does the big wig stuff. He's like a part of that or whatever. There's like so many people who put a lot of work in. I feel like it would be cool if there was a avenue for them to get paid.
For sure.
You know, it does suck that they put in hours and hours of work on a product that people actually need and want and people use, and there's no way for them to really monetize it. And that kind of sucks. That's why there's so like, dude, think of all the add-ons that were made throughout all of Warcraft's history and how many of them are just dead now because people can't maintain that shit. We know firsthand. It's a ton of work to make content on the internet, and to make it free is like, it's so risky. Like what, like we could sell 2 animations and pay for the whole last 4 months that we just, you know, that we worked for. It's like, it's really tough, and you have to really love it, and you also have to understand, being a consumer of that these people have lives and it takes time, and you know, it's. So I understand, dude. I understand the meltdown, the breakdown and shit. I understand it.
And the fact that what they're doing makes your life, well, I mean, that maybe it's a little extreme saying this, like makes your life better. It makes your gameplay experience better. You know what I'm saying? Like without that, you know, that's a thing that could exist, and you know that it could exist, and then somebody's just not making it, so you're worse off. So I don't know.
So there is a comment that's right now though we got to respond to, right? It says that the work is optional. There's no gun to their head. Yes, there's also no gun to your head to work at your job. But when you work at your job, you have a certain level of like etiquette. There's a certain level that people understand is gonna, you know, come across, right? So like you go to work, you know that you're gonna get at least a certain amount of money. You know that your time isn't being wasted. You also know that there's a level of respect from the high up, and then there's a level of respect from the people that are below you. There's like a hierarchy that does not happen when you're doing freelance content. So like, just to say like you don't have to do it, it's like that is the most weakest argument ever. Is like someone puts in work that people can use, and because of the way that the internet is structured, that it's a free place, period, doesn't mean that it doesn't suck that the people put in the hours and they have no way to recuperate that.
Yeah, also the way that it vibes in my head is like the type of work that add-on creators and WeakAura developers and, you know, whatever you want to call them, the type of work that they do is ridiculously like a specialized skill, right? Which like in the business world, they would be getting paid a fucking crazy amount of money. I'm sure.
Ton of money.
They're just sitting here doing it for free because they enjoy it, right? Like they're not even doing it for the money, which is dope. Like we're, you know, happy to have them. So the fact that somebody might be like, you know what, actually, like I do spend a lot of time on this. I would be getting. I'm losing a lot of money spending time doing this. Like maybe I'll try to find a way for people to support me. You know, I'd be like, hell yeah, dude. Hey, you made NDT. I use that shit every day. I'm gonna sign up to your Patreon or something. But when you start saying like, yo, you gotta buy my add-on, it's like, okay, what's the next one? What's the next best thing? Because I ain't doing that.
Well, it's true, but like, so let me give you a super good analogy, right? They like switch it over to the gaming like sales industry, right? So you used to spend $60 for a game. Like, I mean, people are starting to do that again, whatever, but you used to spend $60 for a game, no fucking problem, dude. Zelda Ocarina of Time came out, 60 beans, I don't give a shit, that's where it's going. You would get 50 games a year at $60. Right now, people are disgusted if an app costs $1. Absolutely disgusted. And it's like the work is this fucking same. The amount of work that people put in is the absolute same, but it's like it's a little bit unfair to assume that these people, they go to work every day. Like, you know, I used to, when we were doing Ready Check Pull before, I went to a 40-hour, 50-hour a week animation job where I was making an 800,000 times more than I'm making doing the Ready Check Pull videos. But I do the Ready Check Pull stuff because it's fun. I like the content. I like the community. I like engaging with World of Warcraft stuff. I like making sure like the boss strategies were fun. I liked all that shit. And just because I'm willing to put in that work, it still helps someone, right? It still helps someone. Just like me working animation for, I don't fucking know, Marshalls or TJX or whatever. Like, that's helping someone make a purchase decision that they're doing. So there's a value there. It helps the company make money. It helps the person decide on what they want to do. It's the same thing here. It's just people decided that it should be free. And it's a little weird to me that it's like, well, he doesn't have to do the work. Well, it's like you're using the add-on that someone put in countless hours on that's actually helping you and saving you time. It's like that's a weird ass way to phrase it.
Yeah, like if this didn't exist and somebody was like, "Yo, I'm thinking about making MDT, but like I don't really have much time, whatever. Like if I can let's get a Kickstarter going or whatever to do this." I'd be like, "That sounds sick, dude. I want that. I'll pay for that."
Oh my God.
That's how it would have gone,
How back-asswards is that, dude? That's so true. Like if he sat down and was like, listen, I have plans, showed off like what the app functionality would be, had a little hype video, everyone would have donated so much money. The dude would have made thousands of dollars. But he's like, you know what? It's going to cost you $5 a month to get all of my stuff, my week orders, my add-ons and everything. They're like, how dare you?
How dare you?
It's like, it's so fucking backwards. But hey, that if you want to really get Zach's going, talk about the copyright with music, dude. We're not just kidding. Anyway, let's talk about not having to do it.
Copyright in general, dude. Oh my God, the fact that like I'm like a single digit viewer, Andy. If I'm ever streaming, and then like I could play a song from 20 years ago and like potentially get banned for it. What?
And it's not even your song. It's in like a Doritos commercial.
Yeah.
That like you happen to like click on when you're like browsing something on Twitch on stream, and it's like Michael Jackson comes in, and now you're completely demonetized.
Yeah, for
it's
real.
So
don't get us started about that. Oh my God, that shit is crazy.
Yeah, Zach's leeching off the music industry, playing other people's hard work.
Yeah, shit, dude. I should have had to pay $5 in order to play that music.
Did you hear what was fucked up? Is that there's people playing games like you would play like Grand Theft Auto, and in the game you would get demonetized because the radio plays copywritten music.
Yeah. Yep.
What?
Yep, that's dumb because that's so dumb. So like because like I've been telling you about, like I watched like Grand Theft Auto RP right on Twitch.
Yo, you're actually hyping it up. Like it actually sounds pretty fun.
Yeah. Like it sounds cool, but that's like a huge category on Twitch, right? It's a big thing. There are radios in the cars that they can listen to, right? It's Grand Theft Auto. Every car you get into, the radio is like automatically on. They don't listen to it. They can't listen to it. So there's like a setting where you have to have the radio doesn't, or like the in cars and stuff doesn't turn on, because if any music played out of there, then like their stream, because they're all streaming the RP, right, would get like copyright striked, and it's just crazy, dude. Also, like if you're a IRL streamer just like walking around,
told you, don't get them started.
Yeah, shit, I got started. Dang it. If you're like an IRL streamer just walking around, just like shopping or whatever, just outside anywhere, and like a store has music on that's like like outside, just like playing speakers outside, you can get copyright strike for that, just walking by.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Some music just like, dude, I don't know, man. That's like I feel like if, like trying to brain blast forward and thinking about like how life used to be, and thinking about in 20 years or whatever how the copyright laws like might be different, thinking back to how it was and be like, what? Like,
well, yeah, it's so slow to catch up, dude. It's so slow. It looks like the movie industry, like it took a while, but they kind of figured it out a little bit. But it's like, it is weird though, like, because if I had 300 or even if I had a fucking arena of friends, 3,000 people came over my crib and they're just like putting on whatever music they want, no one gives a shit. Just put in one of my, old fucking 8-tracks and no one gives a shit. Put on one of my records, right? But like, as soon as 300 people are on a Zoom call with me, you better watch the fuck out. We need that money.
that's so true, man. Actually crazy. Oh yeah, like this guy saying I don't know I don't know how to say your name, but the fact that Cyberpunk just came out recently and it has a setting to disable copyrighted music. Like just in the
What?
game generally and on the radio or whatever's happening in the game. Like it
That's
can either play
genius.
copyrighted music or non-copyrighted music, and you can turn it on and off. I mean, that's genius, yeah, for sure. But the fact that has to exist is just hilarious. Like, what are we working with here, man?
The music industry got some ways to go. But anyways, Nagi, dude.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say,
back to that guy.
Speaking of weak auras, dude, and Nagi and all that stuff, add-on development, Limit, like pretty much right after they killed the boss, right after they killed the Nathrias, they released like almost all of the weak auras that they developed for progression on like all the bosses.
Yep.
So, like my guild's using almost all of them.
For free, by the way.
They're dope. Yeah, for free. yeah. Yeah, good point. So definitely check those out if you're getting into Mythic. I'm pretty sure they have weak auras for like every single boss. Which I don't really know where you find them.
Does your guild use them?
Google it. Yeah, we use, like I said, almost all of them.
That's
so
awesome.
Definitely check those out because they put those out in a timely fashion. That was pretty dope.
Are there any strats that you guys are using in Vision that's like outside of what the world first race is doing, or are there any like more optimized strats that came along? Remember like on King Rastakhan, how like BDGG made that fucking all-star strat that like none of the other guilds that killed it before them did? Is there anything like that going on?
I'd have to think about that. I don't know. Normally it's like the strat is very similar, but like the world first guilds just do so much damage that they're able to like skip random things that you can't. So you have to deal with like an extra set of something.
Makes sense.
Like
yeah.
on like Council of Blood, for instance, we like just recently killed that.
Congratulations, by the way.
Hey,
US 13 or 12 or something, I forget.
Yeah, that fight sucks. It's like watching the Limit VOD of it, right? Like they're just absolutely blasting through. Like there's just less mechanics because they're doing such ridiculous damage. And then when we get to it, we're trying to do that strat, and we're like, oh yeah, we can't do that because we get all kinds of extra shit. The timers get all messed up. So yeah, you have to kind of adapt with like how much damage and healing you do for sure. Which that's been like the most interesting part. But now we're on Sludge Fist, right? Which it doesn't matter how you do Sludge Fist, that shit is the same. So you either have enough damage or you don't. And the strat's pretty much the same either way. So that's gonna be fun.
How far did you guys get? You said 30%, right?
Yeah, something like that.
You get to the enrage and then he shouts and everyone dies?
We're not there yet. But yeah, because there's 4 pillars. I think we're working on starting to get to the 4th pillar, which is like a kind of the weirdest one and the hardest one. So we'll see how that goes. But dude, Sludge Fist, I'm actually liking that boss, dude.
One of my favorite. One of my favorite in so long, dude. I love that fight.
Yeah, and actually, I just said that the Council of Blood fight sucks. It's a million times better than it was in beta testing, dude.
One of my favorite fights now. Again.
Yeah, like it's not. It has like a bunch of weird intricacies with it that like make it kind of unenjoyable with trying to be like a really good mythic guild or whatever, because the timers get kind of weird and like some of the mechanics are a little funky, like kind of unfun in a way. But dude, it's actually not a bad fight, and the stark difference between how it was at the beginning of beta and then the 6 times that they tested it and now they finally have like a decent fight. Oh, dude, that transformation was crazy.
Listen, I want to know if any guild has killed it in a different order on Mythic.
I don't think so. Dude. I think
there's not a single guild, right?
I don't know, right? But I don't think so, because they made the other orders really really bad.
Damn.
Yeah,
I wonder if with more gear or as damage goes up, if they will end up changing the order or not, because I know when we were doing it first, for week 1 or whatever on heroic, it tended that order of kill the last guy, that was real difficult for us at that time, and now it's just that dude falls over like instantly, right? So I'm
Exactly.
wondering if like the strat will change as more gear becomes available.
Yeah, maybe. And like the way Max from Limit was explaining it, as far as I remember, he was like, okay, yeah, so we tried doing Baroness second, and then she cast her ability and it one shot all of us, so we weren't gonna do that anymore. The unavoidable spread mechanic, yeah, that killed all of us. So we can't do that. We gotta kill her. And then we tried leaving Stavros for last, and when that ad spawned, we saw its health. I don't even remember what it was, but we immediately decided to not leave him up last. It was like that the amount of health that that ad had. Wow, that was a weird amount of health that that ad had. Uh, was just not doable. So they're like, yeah, you just can't
Are
do
you
it.
trying to say that the amount of health that ad had was pretty bad?
Yeah, actually. So they're like, so yeah, we just there wasn't another option. We had to leave Niklaus for last, which sucks because you have ads to deal with. But it turns out there's this thing that you can do where you kite it and blah blah blah. You kill them in the intermission, and it actually becomes like a really easy uh like last phase, which is nobody expected the ads to like freeze during the intermission. Like what? That's not in the journal anywhere, dude. And to be able
Well,
to
every
kite
other
them.
ad disappears and then comes back.
Yeah, like, it's just super weird. So the way the strat developed for that fight's actually, like, really interesting. And it plays out pretty much exactly how they did it. So I don't think people are gonna do a different order for that pretty much ever.
Yeah, and
And
then
that just is the order.
Sludge Fist is basically the same, and then you got Stone Legion generals that it takes a lot of attempts to kill that fight, dude. A lot.
A little bit of time, a little bit of 400 pulls at 12 minutes long, dude. That's gonna be a long one. Not looking
How do you
forward to
feel
it.
about that? Are you ready? Are you ready to give
Nope.
the next couple weeks of your life on that fight?
Nope, not even a little bit, dude. Like I said, dude, I'm actually usually I don't hope for nerfs. Like I want to kill like the pre-nerf version of a boss. Yeah, not true this time, dude. I do not want to do that.
But what's good is when
Especially
after you
the
kill that, then
yeah.
it's basically, you're basically done, right? Because then you go, kill the Nathrius, and then you never have to play the game again until next year.
My dream, not playing the game.
That's
Yeah,
fucked up.
I don't know. Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, I don't think it's gonna take much. Like they're not gonna have to nerf Stone Legions, Stone Legions. The generals very much to like reduce the bull count by a lot. Like I think it's just a couple like just actually ridiculous things that are making it such a long progression fight. So I don't know. See how that goes.
So
Uh,
how do you feel about the tuning right now? Because right now, heroic Denathrius, there's like I would say twice the amount of guilds have killed Mythic Shriekwing, and then the same amount of guilds almost have killed Huntsman. You told me this info, but I'm telling the podcast. And then as Denathrius. So Denathrius is twice as hard as Shriekwing, the same difficulty as Ultim. Well, it's probably even harder, right? Because more guilds probably even tried Sire than tried Ultimore. And then
yeah.
probably more equal to fucking Hungering Destroyer in difficulty. How do you feel about like the way the difficulty curve is panning out for Mythic?
That's a good question because like for my guild, it's like a different experience, right? Because like we just do things different, I guess. So, the guilds that are like the world first guilds probably don't feel the same way as most players do, right? Like most players, uh, like watching heroic Sire Denathrius progression, it looks ridiculous. Like the fight. I mean, it looks awesome, right? Like it's a great fight. But yeah, it just looks ridiculously difficult, especially that last phase. And then you go look at Mythic Shriekwing. You're like, oh, is there even a mythic mechanic? Wait, where's the
Yeah, yeah.
lantern? I don't even see the lantern. Is there a lantern? Was that guide wrong? It's like, well, no. It turns out the fight's actually that easy that you don't even need to use the lantern until the intermission. It's like, oh, okay, well, yeah, it's just heroic then. And it's like, okay, well, there we go. Mythic Shriekwing is kind of free. And it's like, okay, well, this isn't super out of the ordinary, right? Like, the first mythic boss being maybe easier than the last heroic boss. It's like, okay, we've kind of seen that before. But dude, like it's almost double. Like I guess it's like kind of changed now. But a significant, number more guilds have killed Mythic Shriekwing than Heroic Sire Denathrius. This might
Yeah.
be like a historically low, like ahead of the curve achievement tier. Like Sire
Yeah.
Denathrius doesn't mess around, dude. It's
Yeah, but you
he's
then you
that
got
bit.
Huntsman, which sounded and could have been, excuse me, extremely difficult. But then you just immune it, and it's not anymore.
Yeah. That's
It's,
definitely
you
weird.
know,
That's a yeah. I don't know how to feel about that mechanic yet. It's definitely it's like they made on Huntsman Altimore. The mythic changes have to do with his like Sin Seeker red arrow on the ground ability. They made it like the extra things so difficult that doing it without immunities would just be like strictly worse. It's not like
yeah.
you have the option to use immunities. It's like the fight just becomes ridiculous if you don't use immunities. Uh so but then if you use immunities, it's like there's not even an extra mechanic. So
Well, no, what
yeah, that's
sucks is
that's
that
like got
the
weird.
mechanic changes throughout the fight too, right? So like it then does like AoE damage that just doesn't happen now. It like has spawns ads that like just spawns way less now. It does like a bunch of bleeds that are going out, and healing was supposed to be crazy. That doesn't exist. It's
Yeah,
like it's really like it turned the fight into a second mythic boss, like something that's just difficult because of numbers and a little coordination, but it's basically heroic, just a little bit harder. And
yep,
then you go to you have your option of what, going into Hungering Destroyer or what, Sun King, or is it Hungering, I don't know, Lady.
yeah,
But
yeah,
then
yeah,
it
yeah.
becomes real hard. So like it's like Shriekwing is like about as hard as I would say normal Sludge Fest. So Sludge Fest.
I
And
think
then
the mythic like difficulty progression is like actually it actually kind of makes sense. Uh, I don't know, like at least looking at it from just like a numbers point of view. Now that I'm looking at the numbers, it's like you got Mythic Shriekwing, which is pretty free. That's cool. Everybody likes a free first boss. Uh, and then you go down to the next boss, and it's about half. Like about half of those guilds have killed Huntsman Altimore. It's okay. Then you go to the next boss, about half the guilds have killed the next boss. All right, and then you go from Hungering Destroyer to like Sun King's Salvation. All right, it's about half. Like you just keep cutting down by half. Which I like that from memory. That's been like kind of how it's been for a long time. You kind of cut it in half for the next step up. And over time they change
yes,
and whatever, but
it
it
does.
does kind
So
of
from
looking
watching
at
your
it
guys'
now, it makes
progression,
sense.
it seems like it's basically Shriekwing and Altimore are free, and then Hungering, Sun King, and Lady Enerva are all about the same difficulty. Then Artificer's a little bit harder. That's what I mean. I
Yeah,
think
other way around. Yeah.
so.
Artificer is easier than Darkvein.
Is easier than Darkvein?
Yeah. The
Not from
numbers
like
show
watching the
that.
progression, it seemed different. What are I wonder what the pull difference is on those.
Well, what's interesting about Artificer is there's not really a damage check. That fight is straight up mechanics. You hit the boss, a little bit, do what you got to do, right? To speed it up. But yeah, it's just you do the mechanics and he just dies, right? Whereas Enerva Darkvein is like a straight up DPS check. Like you got to do
Oh, right,
mechanics
okay.
and pump, and then Sun Kings is kind of a similar thing, but with healing, and it's kind of weird. But yeah, Artificer, there's much less of a DPS check. You just do mechanics. You run the seeds out. You avoid the big suck, and then he dies. You're chilling.
Yeah,
But
and
the
then the
mechanics
final
are like
four are
so hard.
impossible. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The step up from Sludge Fist to Stone Legion Generals is probably like the thing that's out of line with this tier. I would assume.
Word.
Everything else like kind of makes sense. You step up
And
a
then the
little bit,
step
the fight
down
got some time.
from Stone Legion to Denathrius is a little out of line too.
Yeah, a little bit. But like Denathrius is still, it's a good 100 something pull boss, which is like that's pretty respectable still. So yeah, I think Stone Legion is that's definitely the weird one of this tier.
If Stone Legion wasn't so difficult, you would think that it would have been killed. So Sire would have probably died if it was like the same from like going from console to Sludge Fist or whatever like that. it would have probably been, the tier would have probably been over like the 22nd, 23rd or something like that.
Yeah, probably. Especially since they like Blizzard was buffing like they buffed Sludge Fist, I think, while Limit was on Council. They buffed Stone Legion while Limit was on Sludge Fist, and they buffed the Nathrius while Limit was on Stone. Like they were buffing the bosses like one boss ahead of time. So like you could tell that they were trying to stretch it out, right? Like they were clearly there weren't very many nerfs, you know, they weren't trying to speed it up, let's put it that way. So they were like
Yeah.
buffing the bosses right before they got to them. Which maybe they went a little overboard on Stone Legion. But yeah, for sure, if like Stone Legion was like with, you know, went along with the difficulty curve, they definitely would have killed it earlier. But which then again, maybe Blizzard would have buffed Sire Denathrius more or something, you know, and made him like a more difficult final boss or something like that. But yeah, Stone Legion definitely stalled this tier out, that's for sure.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I gotta sneeze. Keep going.
And bless you. All right, so what else is there to talk about? There's not much really to talk about after that. I think if there's any questions, I mean, it's been a crazy, it's New Year's right now. Don't expect a lot of viewers. Also, we've been, you know, a little MIA. But let's talk about what we're gonna be doing. Like we got Altamore is gonna be coming out real soon. We got
Mythic
after that means. Mythic Altamore. Yep. After that, you are starting back up your absolutely famous series of cutting edge world first raider Zach Zachi reviews classes. Or specs.
Yeah,
spec review.
Some spec guides of sorts. I'm trying to get back into that, dude.
But it's basically just like we got the launch over. We're good. We're comfortable cruising in our rating schedules, and New Year's is over, so we can finally get rid of the whole Christmas day off and New Year's day off, and we can get back to actual rating, actual scheduling, and hopefully a lot more videos coming out in the next few weeks, and we're gonna start really ramping it up again. But it was a lot, dude. This last I would say the last quarter, if I want to sound professional, the last quarter of 2020 there was a lot going on there for us.
Yeah, a little bit hectic there. But yeah, now we're I wouldn't say winding down on WoW, right? Like it's still pretty fresh. But the initial just crazed, got to do everything burst is kind of winding down. Now it's just like a little bit more raid logging. So it's like, okay, now I can actually think about something else.
Yeah, you start moving on, start
do something else.
Start whatever. I was talking about and Zach's obviously doesn't have the time right now. Maybe he'll join with us. But if you guys that are listening, I know there's a bunch of you that listen afterwards, like on your way to work and shit like that. Happy Monday, by the way, if you are. I was considering doing a ready check pull, normal / heroic, like little weekend thing every once in a while. So like maybe every Saturday or maybe every Sunday or something like that, where at a certain time we get together and just do some mythic with the community, or not mythic, some heroic or normal with the community, just to have fun. And obviously Zach's is raiding every day and every night and every morning, never getting sleep. So he's obviously can't do it right away, but I'm considering that if that's something that you guys would want, or you guys would want to take part in, let us know in the Ready Check Pull Discord, because that's something that I'm interested in, and I'm considering what alt I'd want to level and shit like that. Yeah, already got to count me in the chat. Dr. Impressed, always coming in.
We can make that Ready Check Pull Guild everybody's been talking about, dude. Everybody's been asking where the Ready Check Pull Guild is, dude.
Yeah, you keep sending them to Zul'jin. What was that about, dude? Oh yeah, I don't know, but Jim might have a guild.
I was assuming he was watching this stream, loved the stream, loved the environment, and was looking for the Jim. He
transferred over and everything, dude. I had to invite him. It was crazy. Jesus.
we're all one here. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. But yeah, so
Except
if
my
that's
guild. My guild is not.
yeah, they're actually won. WON. They're winning.
True.
But yeah, if that's something you're interested, let me know in the RCP Discord. Thinking about leveling the Guardian next coming up, and then yeah, that's about it for me, dude. What do you got coming up? Anything special?
I don't know. I mean, it's like the title of the podcast says, dude. I'm tired of not making content, yo. Like I'm getting back into the creative spirit. Like
Yeah. I know you've been writing scripts and shit. I've been getting like little. I got the Baltimore script a couple days ago. Had to edit some stuff and like yeah. I feel those creative juices coming in hot.
Yeah, I'm glad to be in starting to get into the the raid logging phase of WoW. That's my jam. Well, I like progression obviously, but
wait a second. If we do the ready check pull raids, do we have to do every single time? Do we have to say, are we pulling?
Probably
every time.
I have to make we should make like a week or something.
Oh my god! That would be great. It would be just like a Patreon only, and it would be like a week or that just the only thing it does is when you ready check, it says, "Are we pulling?" But like 15 different types. Yeah.
It's like you counting it down.
That would be great. Oh my good lord, dude. That would be absolutely hilarious.
That'd be good. But yeah, just still gaming, trying to make more content. We'll see. Let us know what kind of content you're looking for from us.
Yeah, I'm actually I am confused on that right now because I don't know. Like, obviously, when we're in beta and alpha and we're going into a new, that there's the raid guides we're gonna do. Obviously, we're gonna keep doing those for every tier. Then there's the class things because people want to know what's going on. But like, what do you make mid tier? Like, what is the content that people want to see mid tier? I'm a little bit confused on that, and I'd like to know. I'd like to.
We got all kinds of ideas. We got a million ideas for video.
I got a notebook filled to the brim.
Yeah, but we're trying to choose, you know what I'm saying? So let us know what you want to hear, what you want to see from RCP.
What you want to be. Sound like Snoop Dogg. Nephew. Let us know what you want to see, nephew. Anyways, all right. That's it for me too, dude. Hey, thank you guys for watching. This is going to be posted up tomorrow to Anchor. So anyone on the Apple Podcast or Spotify or anything like that, you guys will be able to listen to it throughout your workday. So yeah, that's it for me. And have a great, great, great new year.
Yeah. Happy New Year, everybody. See ya.